it wasn't something we were aiming for at the start of the season. As the season progressed on, it was then kind of in the forefront of our minds.
Now Thunder looking to take another step towards the crown. So fast, so much power through this elite netball game.
They've got a fab reputation. I think that is also one of the things that coming into the squad why I felt so grateful to be given a contract.
Manchester Thunder, revenge a year in the making. Thunder roll on.
Thunder have always been a great team. They're always battling for those top four, battling in the finals as well. So I think to kind of come into a top four team was new to me. I've never been in that top four position before.
This is what it's all about, and there are thousands in the crowd here in East London at the Copper Box Arena. This is what we have been waiting for. The atmosphere here is electric.
We had really high expectations of ourselves, and we said from the very start that we were a team that wanted to make top four. We wanted to challenge for the title.
Their ability to soak up pressure, Manchester Thunder just let it ride, and then when that opportunity comes, strike.
Like NPL, we used to win. We used to say like Northwest is best. We took each game one by one. We approached each opposition the way we would approach the one before, and it kind of just sprung upon us really. You know, towards the end of the season, people started talking about us going unbeaten for the whole season, and if that was possible.
A moment of golden opportunity for Eleanor Cardwell. She knows, she takes the applause. The perfect season has a perfect ending, and Manchester Thunder are champions again.
For us, it was, well, you know, we're losing 3 of our main players, and you know, we still had a spattering of senior players in there, and it's almost like, well, you know, if we're losing those senior players with all that experience, we may as well just go for it and bring in some, you know, fresh blood, some, you know, look at our pathway players coming back to us, and it gave us a real opportunity to take a hold of what we wanted to achieve as a club, and not just for the now, but for the, you know, year 2, year 3, year 4 years from now. So for us, it was a great opportunity to take stock, rebuild, look at our squad and who we would actually want to bring in. So you know, we lost those 3 players. We made some difficult decisions around other players and whether we were going to contract them or not. And you know, ultimately for me, it was about, you know, bringing the likes that we knew Amy Carter was going to be coming back from injury. We knew Eleanor was as well. So that was exciting. They were tracking really well and had been at Thunder all their careers. So when you look at who do you get to fill a Laura Malcolm spot, who do you get to fill a Joyce and an Eleanor spot, and it's looking at what that looks like and how best fill those positions.
I don't.
Caution up and though.
I know. I've not got a caution in weeks.
Shock.
I got it in the first quarter. I watched it back and I was like, oh, that's early. I was like, I know.
Obviously, it's gutting to lose players like the ones that we did. I mean, you are going to feel that, but I think the staff and, you know, the coaching team have done a really great job of recruiting brilliant replacement players. I mean, if you can lose an Eleanor Cardwell and replace that with a Lenize, you know, I don't think it's too much difference really. I mean, she's an incredible shooter. So we've recruited really, really well, and I think to bring the players back in that we have done, you know, and having players like Amy Carter coming back from injury as well, and Elliot McCormick, it's not a bad kind of replacement team, but it's something that we've been through before.
Yeah. So we've got to play smarter, so that either comes in on that first second, we play back on the pop and over, or we reset and open up our space.
Yeah. After
Yeah.
we've done a few of them, the drop ones,
Yeah.
then they'll shut it down.
And then we go back.
Yeah. And then we go back to that, so keep mixing down.
Yeah. Mix up shots.
It's a new team, but an old team. A lot of these girls I played with in NPL with like the likes of Taylor and Eleanor and Lois, and it's great playing with them. There's some players like Nat that I played with like 2 years ago, 3 years ago at the Nations Cup with England. Kerry I've played forever because she's been playing forever. So yeah, it's a really, really nice group of girls. Everyone's quite bonded. It's a range of ages, but that just adds a bit of interest to the team.
How do you feel being 29?
I'm just trying to be fine. I feel so young, okay? Young in heart, young in brain, extremely old feeling in my body. No, it was good, it was really good. I was just super stoked because I know how the people talk about Manchester Thunder, how they're a winning side, championships side, the warmth they had towards each other, the comfortableness, the honest conversations, the fans, the supporters. It's like a real family. The atmosphere is amazing. So it was a decision obviously to make because I have a partner in Australia and I have my family back home, and it's World Cup year as well in South Africa. So do I want to stay in South Africa and train with my team, or do I want to come over and train with a championship side team as well and get game time while preparing for World Cup? So there was a lot of pros and cons I had to compare to each other, and at this stage Manchester Thunder outweighed everyone else.
Who's this team? Who's going to replace Laura? Who's doing this? And so I think people didn't expect us to be top 4. A lot of time at the beginning of the season, people looked at the squads and they didn't really put us in their top 4. But obviously then we started the season, started beating some teams, and everyone was like, okay, I know this team's different, but they can still play.
I remember the first time I played in the AO Arena, and you know how we entered through the back, behind the scenes, and obviously big singers perform there. And I think I'd just seen Little Mix or someone there. Yeah. Little Mix, I've walked these halls.
I thought you were I'm basically Harry Styles.
Yeah,
right
Harry Styles.
Harry
Styles is sat on this couch.
No, it's when you go into the big changing rooms and it's where they actually would be backstage.
We know we have to be relentless in absolutely everything we do, because if we're not, we're going to get picked off. Okay, so for 60 minutes, we put our bodies on the line, okay? We play for each other, we play to the whistle, and we have each other's backs. We've got everything in our lockers. They're setting up a zone. We know what that looks like to play through. We have to commit to play through it.
Yeah, I think netball in the Northwest is incredibly strong. I think it probably stems from the fact they have a very strong club structure. They have very competitive clubs, and I think people from a young age, 11, 12, they're fighting to be in these squads in their own clubs, and from starting that at a young age, it really instills a lot of good kind of competitiveness.
We are in for a special afternoon of netball at the AO Arena as Manchester Thunder take on Leeds Rhinos.
I know some people had written Thunder off quite early on because it was a very new look team to the team that won it last year. But I think as a group, we knew straight away that we were challenging to be in the top 4 and challenging ultimately to be in the final and win the league again. So I think we were quite clear with that intention.
I'm very thorough around analysis and making sure that we leave no stone unturned when looking at the opposition, putting game plans together and what that looks like, making sure the players are aware of what that game plan is and making sure that they're comfortable within that. And I think whilst delivering the game plan and asking them to execute during training, it's important that they get to have those conversations on the court and figure things out for themselves, because ultimately that's what's happened in a game.
Karen Gregg will be looking for a really good start from her side to rectify last weekend's matches. I think she was happy, and there's Vicky Odesolu with an early intent to win ball.
Yeah, there were heaps of conversations about the grand final and obviously working towards getting into the top 4, into the top 2, but yeah, she just always believed in me from the start. She's one of the few coaches that actually believe in my skill, believe in my shooting range. She takes what she has and she works with it around the other players, and that tells me something about a coach.
There is the Thunder bench, ready and poised if needed by Karen Gregg.
You know what? Thunder were absolutely amazing last season, and it is obviously big boots to fill, but I think we have got a relatively new team and we are still building, and I think we just need to enjoy it and do what we can do, and I think we have the potential to go and win it again. So yeah, it is a bit of pressure, but also I feel like we need to take this as a new season. It's obviously a very new squad.
We know Rhinos, the last time they played Saracens Mavericks, came back in a 3-goal surge in the last minute of the game, so we know they've got it in them. Donahue on the ball, O'Hanlon wants to handle this one. Oh, Paige Reed goes for...
Oh!
A big steal for her side.
Karen Gregg knows they've got their 11th win. The crowd are counting the clock back. Semi-final place booked for the four-time champions. And the win is sealed here at the AO Arena. Smiles all round for Manchester Thunder. But Leeds Rhinos took it to Thunder here this evening and made them work. A 2-goal win though for Thunder, 65-63. A brilliant match here at the AO Arena.
It doesn't matter what season you go into. I think Manchester Thunder always have a target on the back. Doesn't matter whether you've won the title the year before or not. People know that beating Manchester Thunder is, we're always kind of up there on people wanting to take our scalps, and we know that.
Loughborough Lightning will face London Pulse in the grand final.
Even when, as we would have hoped, Manchester Thunder tweak things and tactically and technically change things up to come back at them, because that's the class of team they are, Loughborough Lightning were able to still stay ahead.
I don't think there was much in it at all for the full 60 minutes. I think we had a period of about 3 minutes in that third quarter, where we were up by 2 or 3 and we threw 3 balls away, and you know, that's it, fine margins, and it was a tough game, but credit to Loughborough, they came out, and that game was definitely worthy of any final.
I think it's going to be a real feisty game, a real good bronze medal match playoff, because both of us are hurting. We both wanted to be in that final, and that's not the case for either team. So I think it's going to be a real good match, a real good spectacle for the sport in the lead up to the final. I think it's an even playing field, isn't it? They beat us first time round, then they came up to us and we beat them. I think it's going to have absolutely everything. I think they've got so much strength and talent within the squad.
Well, the countdown is on, the fans are counting backwards. Storm against Thunder for a third place finish in the Super League. Well, they want the win, don't they? Both the head coaches want the win, wanting to end the season on a high.
Now we're just going up against Storm, which is another super tough game. We're still going to put our best foot forward like we're playing in a final, because we are going for that medal. We want to end on the best note that we can.
I always thought Thunder are going to be in that top 4, and I think everyone in the team kind of had that as well. I know some people had written Thunder off quite early on because it was a very new look team to the team that won it last year. But I think as a group, like, we knew straight away that we were challenging to be in the top 4 and challenging ultimately to be in the final and win the league again. So I think, like, we were quite clear with that intention.
The Manchester Thunder will end the 2023 Super League season with a win over Surrey Storm, their 16th win of the season, and they will take a podium spot. Third place in the Super League this year for Karen Gregg and Manchester Thunder.
I'm really, really proud of what we have been able to achieve, and I think it's about winning and wanting to win, and that drive to win has always been there for us. And although it's not the case this year and for 2023, like, there's a lot to be proud of, and there's so many fond memories I've got of this season, the moments that we've built together, the memories that we've shared, and we've built some incredibly fast relationships. We've obviously had a lot of challenges with injuries and niggles and things, but I think being part of the Thunder family, we've really pulled together in those moments, and that's something I'm really, really proud of within representing Manchester Thunder.
I think it's a family, you know. I think I'll get emotional now. Can you cut that?
It's fine, it's obviously you've been part of it for so long.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll sort myself out in a second. You can cut that. This doesn't go in, right? I'll sue. It's everything that we embody and what we try to do as a franchise. You see everybody here just loving it and having a great time, and I think it makes me proud that as a Manchester person, that we're able to have a franchise that isn't just about the netball team, it's about everything else around it, and I think that's what really embodies being a part of Manchester Thunder.